David Parker Ray, known as the Toy Box Killer, was one of the most sadistic predators to ever live. He built a soundproof torture chamber in his trailer, equipped with chains, surgical tools, and recording equipment, where he kept women captive for days or even weeks. What he did to them is almost beyond comprehension. This is the true story of a monster who operated in plain sight. Viewer discretion is strongly some killers hide in the shadows. Others build a chamber of horrors and bring their victims inside. This is the story of David Parker Ray, a man known as the Toy Box Killer, a name that sounds harmless, until you see what was really inside his toy box. David Parker Ray lived in Elephant Butte, New Mexico. On the surface, he seemed like a quiet mechanic. But behind his trailer doors was a chamber of pure terror. He had custom-built a soundproof trailer, which he called his toy box. But it was no place for children. Inside were whips, chains, leg spreaders, and surgical tools, carefully arranged. There were mirrors on the ceiling, electrical torture devices, and even a gynecological exam table. Victims were drugged, kidnapped, and chained to the table for days. David didn't act alone. He had help from his girlfriend Cindy Hendy and occasionally his own daughter. The victims were blindfolded, and when they woke up, David would play them a pre-recorded cassette tape, calmly explaining what was about to happen. "Hello, bitch. You're probably thinking this is some kind of nightmare. It is." For hours, sometimes days, women were subjected to horrific abuse, sexual torture, psychological torment, and even threats of death. When he was done, he'd inject them with barbiturates to erase their memory and dump them back on the roadside. Many had no recollection of what had happened, just a deep sense that something was very wrong. His reign of terror lasted for years, until in 1999, one woman, Cynthia Vigil, managed to escape. He had chained her to the wall, but when he left the keys on a nearby table, she seized her chance. Naked and covered in bruises, she ran to a nearby mobile home, dragging a metal chain still locked to her body. The police were finally called. When officers searched David's trailer, what they found was beyond anything they had imagined. Detailed journals describing torture sessions, a collection of videotapes showing real assaults, a mirror-covered ceiling so victims could watch their pain, and a chilling trophy box filled with items from his victims. Authorities believe he may have killed up to 60 women, but no confirmed bodies were ever found. David Parker Ray was finally arrested, but justice was slippery. Many victims had no memory. Others were too terrified to testify. He was eventually convicted of kidnapping and torture and sentenced to 224 years in prison. But he died of a heart attack before serving a single full day behind bars. David Parker Ray may never have faced true justice, but the survivors he left behind have never forgotten. He didn't need a gun or a knife. Just a charming face, a locked door, and a room no one ever walked out of, awake. His story is a reminder. Evil doesn't always look like a monster. Sometimes, it looks like your neighbor with a trailer. Final words. Chilling whisper. The Toy Box Killer. He recorded every moment, but his victims will carry the silence forever. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment for more historical stories.